Oh my giddy aunt. All of them, going back to 2020. Well, this method requires us to extract the micro SD card from the mobile phone, and we've got a little extractor tool there that gets the SIM card and SD card out. We have a little memory card adapter converter to USB, and that's what we're going to use for this. To get the card out, I'm going to take the phone out of its casing, and of course switch it off. What's gone wrong? Wait for it to power off. Right, it's dead now. Now where these cards go in is up here. There's a little tight titchy little hole round about there. Not round about, but there. And the tool goes inside, and we press down until it just pops out. Then we extract it like so. Now that's the SIM card, and that's the memory card. Now I'll push the memory card out and leave that there. Now, before we go any further, it would be possible to get at these cards, the data on these cards, going via the USB socket on the phone. In this instance, I choose not to do it that way because this is, one, not my phone, and I don't want to be accused of messing up the SIM card. As if you don't know your way around file systems, it's easy to end up in the wrong place and do something you don't really want to do. So this method is probably safer than going via the USB port. So if you're a bit of a novice, I recommend this method. If you know what you're doing, it will go through the USB, and I will cover that later, but not with this phone. For the time being, we're going to use this SD card. And let's fit it in. Let's see, no, it won't go that way round. That way round. Now we're ready to go. All we've got to do is put it into our computer. Away we go. If you store your pictures on the SIM card of your mobile phone, then this method is not going to work for you. It's more normal to store your photographs on an SD card within your mobile phone, and this is what we're going to cover here. First, open our browser. The piece of software we're going to use is called TestDisk, and we'll do a search on that. And I know that there's a wiki page for it, so we'll go there. And anything you need to know is probably here. As you can see, there's a whole range of various operating systems it will work on, but our major concern is it will work on Windows, Linux and Mac OS. And for me, I run a Linux Mint, and over here we've got the website for the TestDisk. Let's click on TestDisk, and you can see that the latest version up here is the 7.2, and somewhere there's going to be a download button. Here we are, downloads, download binaries, source files, Mac, etc. Let's click on this, and for Linux, TestDisk 7.2, if we click on that, we could download it for Linux. And down here is TestDisk 7.2 WIP, which I think probably stands for work in progress. And over here we can come back up to the stable versions. There's Windows 32-bit, Windows 64-bit, Mac OS, Linux, kernels for kernels 2.618 and over, and DOS, Windows 95 and 98. So that's, we could click on any of these and download whatever version we wanted. I need a Linux system. Now, for me, all I do is go to the repository and see if the program is already in the Linux repository. Now, I'll type in TestDisk. If you're unsure of what to look for, you can see that I've already got it installed. But if you're unsure to what to look for when you're doing a search like this, just put something file recover and see what comes up. Yeah, so we've got a couple of programs, but TestDisk is one we're using now. It says launch or remove, and there's a lot of other information here, how it works. Now, there is one drawback. This program does run in terminal, and that's going to scare the life out of a lot of people. Don't be, it is straightforward, please. Have a go. Now, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Plugged in the memory card, and the first thing to do is to check to see how much data we're going to transfer. Now, here's where we can fall into some sort of silly little problems. And it says that we've got 62.3 gigabyte of data spare, and that we've only got 1.6 gigabyte to transfer. Now, remember, we're recovering deleted files, so this is rubbish, and we don't really know how much space we need to is going to be occupied by the deleted files. That's a very important point. And if I look at my hard drive, come up here and our properties, it says I've got 11.8 gigabits of free space, and frankly, in this instance, it would be consume up all the memory there, and that would be very dangerous because my operating system is on this drive, and it could clog it up and everything could foul up like it did 5 minutes ago. So I've got another drive here, which I've called up from a sort of a list of drives that I've got on my computer, and it's got plenty of spare space, and I do keep a lot of files on there that I need. So I'll open that, and hopefully we've got the right access. Oh, here we go again. Can't do this, can't do that. Now, this is all because I don't have the right permissions, as I'm working on a different desktop. Unmount. Here we go. Going to be a little bit of rigmarole, which you won't have, and if I was using the other operating system, I wouldn't. Right. Open. Put in a password. Authenticate. Hopefully I've got create new folders and create new what's names are all sort of greyed out. Oh dear. So what's going wrong? What's this? I've clicked on what's this folder. Why is that saying what's this? Yeah, well, click on that and we're going to open this root. There I go again. Now, we should be able to open WhatsApp. Yeah, Now I can create new folders. This is just a hiccup and the way I protect my data, and so you may not run into this problem. I didn't, but create new folder, and we're going to call this SD card backup, and I'm going to create another folder called recovered files. We'll open up the SD card on the USB stick, and we have a folder, all these 5 folders. I'm going to copy all of those, go copy, and we're going to paste them into this folder, paste. Now the reason behind that is that should we run into any major problems, that data will be preserved and we can sort of reflash another SD card with this important data. And it's going to take a few seconds to do this. We'll fast forward through it. It's just a precaution, that's all. Now, go back to what's this? I've got this folder recovered files. Now we're ready to go. Keep this open. Right, okay, I'll just leave those open. Come over to the terminal and click on terminal. Okay, we all dread terminal. There's nothing really to worry about too much. It's just that it's a little bit unfamiliar to most of us. And we'll type in the program we want to run, TestDisk. And if we read through all of this, we can. I've done it before, so I'm not going to read it again. Create a new log file and just hit the return key. You can navigate using your up and down keys and just create a new log file. Now, because it needs elevated, well, because the file needs permission to run, the term we should have put in front of TestDisk was sudo. Now, you may be unfamiliar with sudo, you may be very familiar with it. But if you forget it, nicely this program is orientated around those who are forgetful, and it does pause the program for you to enter your password. A nice little bit of design, I think. Please wait. Now it's looking at our computer to work out what disks and what drives and what everything we've got on there. Come on. And our drive is at the bottom. That's the USB stick. These are 3 other drives that I've got on the system, and the last one is the USB stick. And down the bottom we have proceed, quit, proceed and quit. Now if you wish to proceed, all we have to do is hit return. If we wish to quit, we just use the left and right arrow keys to go to quit, and we can quit the system by entering return. But we want to proceed, so we'll hit proceed, and that's enter. It's now telling us that we've got an Intel partition on the drive, and this is the one we want. You can select whichever ones you like, but they won't work unless you're on the right one, and in this case it's telling us which one we need, which is Intel. And we've selected it using the up and down keys, and hit return, we'll go through. Now we've got several options here. One's to analyse the current partition structure. Well, that's beyond us. Advanced, then we've got geometry, options, MBR code, delete, quit. Well, the only one that looks like we might be useful to us is the advanced system, which says file systems, utilities, and recovering a file would be a file system utility. So click on advanced. That takes us through to the partition of the SD card in the USB stick, and down the bottom of the screen we have another menu, and it was on boot. Well, we don't want boot, we don't want site, we don't want boot, we don't want list. Undelete is what we want to do. We want to undelete files. So this looks like the obvious selection to choose. Click on that. Now we're faced with the 5 folders that are in the SD card, and the folder of interest is DCIM, because that's the one where all the pictures are resting. And down the bottom we've got a list of what to do. It says right to change directory, H to I deleted files, Q to quit, and colon to select the current file, A to select all files, capital C to copy the selected files, and small c to copy the current file. Now we're in a folder. There's no files being shown, so we'll look inside the DCIM folder, and that has another folder inside of that called camera. Now if we look in going through the same procedure, just hitting the return key or enter, and we now see a list of files. The first one we see is in red, and we go down that list. All those in white are currently available on the SD card and haven't been deleted, and all those in red have been deleted. Now, there's far more deleted files than there are white ones, undeleted files. Now, we've got options down the bottom where we can mess around with to select current file using the colon, or A to select all files. And there's so few white ones in comparison to the red ones, I think it's easier to copy the whole lot. So we're going to use A and select all files. They're all green now. And if we wish to deselect them all, the language has changed at the bottom and go A again, which we're back to where we were. So I'm going to select it, and now it says to select them all. So we'll select them all, and because they're all selected, we can do a capital C to copy the files. And now we're being asked where we want to send them. Now this is a difficult one for me, because this isn't showing the directory where I want to send them. Let's look here and see what we've got. Nothing. Come down one. Paul, Roger. Videos, TestDisk. We'll go to Paul. This is the one I'm looking for, media. And we'll try that one first, that folder, nothing. That one, media. Go to Roger. There we go. We found what's this, and that's the drive that I'm looking for. I'm sorry guys that this was a little bit of a hunt through looking for the drive that I want to transfer these data to, and you will probably have similar problems, but just struggle. As you see, it's I've gone to the directory of Media Roger, and I had to go up to that extension to find the file. So Paul and Roger, come down to Roger, and under Roger I've got that one. What's this? Now here you can see the other folders that we've created, and one of them is called recovery files, and that's where we're going to dump it. Now we've got the one we want, and we have to, according to the instructions that are up here, press capital C to transfer the data to these files. And I know there's a lot of memory space on this drive, so we should be okay. And certainly in excess of the size of the memory stick that we're transferring. Recover files, capital C. And away we go. Hopefully. Yep, we seem to be chugging away. Now this can take some time. There's probably over 1,000 files to go, and we'll come back to that in a moment. In the meantime, I'll let it flow, and probably we'll fast forward in the video. Well, it looks like that was successful. Copy done. Took about 9 minutes or so. If we now go Q to quit, and it seems to take us one level back all the time. Getting Q, we seem to be going back, back. Now we've got back to our opening page. We'll use the right arrow key to go to quit and quit program. Now we're back in the terminal. We can close the terminal down, and if we look in our recovered files folder, we'll first click on it and see how much data is in there. Nothing. Did I put it in the wrong folder? What is? I put it in the wrong folder. Where's that folder DCIM come from? I haven't actually put it in a recovered files folder, have I? I've put it on the what's this as a folder. It's in this folder. Slight faux pas, properties, totaling 10.7 gigabits, 1,131 items, so that's where they're living. I meant to put it in that folder. So let me transfer this to there. And now we look into the recovered files folder. And click on this camera. There we go. Oh my giddy aunt. All of them going back to 2020. We go back any earlier? Probably not. Let's page down. Huh. Thousands of them. What's this? That looks nice. Let's have a look and see what that one's like. Ah, nice sunflower. At a good point, we'll close this out at that point. There you go. Now, should you want to put any of these photos back onto the mobile phone, you only have to transfer the file by just doing a sort of a copy and paste job. Go to DCIM on your SD card, which is on the USB stick, and you can just drop it back in there and it'll come up again. That's one way of doing them. Now, there is another way, and that is to go via the phone's USB port without the need to take out the SD card. Now, I prefer to take out the SD card, micro SD card out of the mobile phone, because at least that way I know that I'm not going to damage the SIM card in any way whatsoever, or the functioning of the phone. I can put it all back. Here, it's a slightly more risky strategy if you go via the USB port on the mobile phone. And I may look into it in this video, I don't know yet. And I may save that for another video all by itself. We'll see how it goes. I think I've got enough here to make a video, and other than putting the phone back together, I think that will be it for now, guys. Bye for now.